this meant for us to come to Memphis in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. And it is the senior class that's going to leave their mark. You know, it was the first conference championship in 56 years. You know, there's been a lot of firsts, and it's a tribute to the senior class. And the work, it's a class that's never cheated the work. They've come over there and consistently tried to improve their entire time at Rice. And so it is gratifying where you see your team's goals coming true.
Coach, have you told your team to kind of expect a hostile environment because, you know, Mississippi State being so close and them bringing a lot of fans the last time they were here? Have you told your team to kind of be expecting like take it as a true road game tomorrow?
Well, you know, the one I have a lot of respect for Coach Mullen. He has promised me they're going to ring responsibly. You know, we've been piping into cowbells. We've been piping into band. You know, it is going to be you know, not a home crowd feel. I know we've got a bunch of fabulous fans that have made the trip, but we've done everything we can to prepare a football team for a road game. And those cowbells, you know, they after you hear about 10 minutes of practice, you've heard about it, you know, enough of it. They keep going off in your head. So hopefully we've prepared them for the hostile environment it's going to be. But once again, that's one of the great traditions of college football, and we're looking forward to playing the game.
How are you enjoying it? Piping it over the loudspeaker, having playing on the side?
You know, there's an app for that. Can you believe it? That our video guy went and found an app with cowbells and the Mississippi State band playing. So you can't go find you an app of cowbells if you're looking for one. I was kind of stunned myself as he found it in minutes.
Talk about the preparation of your squad so far, Coach, if they've been in Memphis. And I know how it is, you get close to the game time, you're away from home in the bowl game. They're just eager and ready to play. So talk about the preparation. How have you kept them just, you know, even keeled until tomorrow?
Well, you know, we got here the 26th. So in the football world, the 26th would have been a Tuesday for us as a work day. So we've had a regular work schedule of where we're have the same periods just like we would at home, the same meeting. We've done everything earlier in the morning. In the AM, it's all about football. In the PM, it was about making memories. And I think we've come here though, when it's time to go to work, they've worked. And when it's time to have fun, they've had a good time. We've made sure we've conditioned them. You know, you're a little worried just about the layoffs of when we played our last football game to now. You watch some of those bowl games, there's some teams cramping out. Want to make sure that, you know, we've tried to keep them in game shape the best that we can. And, you know, today on our countdown day is Friday. We'll go over to the stadium, have a short walk through the substitution script, and team meetings tonight, get ready for kickoff tomorrow.
What would it mean for just the momentum of the program in general to get that 11th win? I don't think y'all ever won 11 in a season.
No, it would be the first time in the history of the school, so it'd be a big win for us. And, you know, for us to win this game, when you see Mississippi State, just the size and the length of some of their guys, we're absolutely going to have to play our best football game to achieve that 11th win.
What does it mean that it could be the first time in school history that you win back-to-back bowl games? Obviously, one season's great, but having back-to-back bowl games kind of shows the consistency of the program too.
And that's what you want to do for, you know, it helps this university. It also helps recruiting, you know, where young men see that they can get a world-class degree and win bowl games. And, you know, that's one of the things is we have to be a more consistent football team. And I think that's what we're doing. I don't believe we'll have the dips in the program that we've had. We're a talented team in Conference USA from the freshman class to the senior class.
David, your team's played Big 12 schools, you played Big 10 schools. Does that take a little bit off of the, you know, it's you versus the SEC in this matchup?
You know, really, we just want to play. And, you know, conference affiliation, we're very aware of what the SEC, you know, stands for and how good that conference is. But, you know, young men are just young men, and they just want kickoff to come, and they can't come fast enough. And, you know, it's not one where we've really highlighted this is an SEC school. It's Mississippi State. If we're going to have a chance to win, we're going to have to perform well.
David, when you were going through 2-10s and 4-8 seasons, was there a moment during that process where you kind of, and your staff kind of said, okay, this is going to work. This is going to get turned around. This is going to happen?
Well, we knew that we were recruiting very well. Rice is a developmental school. You know, we cannot take, it's hard to find junior college players that are admissible to Rice. And so we have recruited outstanding freshmen, and they believed in us enough in the vision that none of them have left. And, you know, so they have, like I said, when you have 19 fifth-year players, they've been with you through the hard times. And this was also the group that started playing before their time. So, you know, there's never been a belief we weren't doing it the right way. There was never any doubt it was going to turn and go our way. It was just, we knew it was coming, and it was when we played Memphis and lost a close one. That was a defining moment on our football team to where they'd had enough. And I think since that time, we've won 15 out of our last 18. And, you know, losing is infectious, and so is winning. And I think this football team, you know, the field and the locker room is a lot more enjoyable after a win. And when you win, you continue to prepare better, prepare harder, because you want to try to duplicate those emotions. And I think that's what we have going now.
You mentioned recruiting. How much kind of strong performance in this game help get the Rice name and brand out to, you know, a talent-rich area that probably isn't your primary recruiting base?
Well, you know, this senior class, the fifth years, is the class we signed after the 08 Texas Bowl win. We won 10 games. So, you know, it does help you attract student athletes that are a good fit at your university. And there's no doubt when you get on ESPN, it goes coast to coast. If you play well, it helps strengthen your pool on getting top quality recruits.
For you personally, how much would it mean getting a third bowl win? I think which would tie the most in program history.
You know what and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that would be incredible. But what's even more incredible is this senior class, if they could have back-to-back bowl wins. You know, this game is always about the student athlete. It's not about the coaches. We've had our time. But it would mean, you know, these young men have already left a legacy that 10, 20, 30 years from now, they're going to be a back-to-back bowl team. And it would really be nice if they could walk back with just a little bit more of a swagger, you know, with back-to-back bowl wins when they're 50 and 60 and 70. And I think it's a team with what they've accomplished. They will continue to stay engaged with this great university. So it would be just, you know, like I said, I enjoy sitting back when you win big games and just watching the young men and reflecting on what they've done. And it would be a special time. And like I said, I know we're going to have to play extremely well, you know, to win this football game.
You mentioned some of the size and length of Mississippi State. What are the keys defensively for you in terms of stopping what Mississippi State does on offense?
Well, we've got to tackle really well. You know, you got to stop the run game. We would, you know, if you can't control Dak, you're going to have a hard time in this game. We need some takeaways defensively to help. You know, it's one where you really have to win the turnover battle and hopefully get some possessions away from them. And I think field position is going to be critical in this game. And offensively, you know, we have to take care of the football. We're averaging, you know, 32 minutes a game in time of possession, and you know, we need to keep the ball away. At the end of those drives, we need to make sure we get points.
I was going to ask the scouting Mississippi State, anything either side of the ball that stands out in particular, maybe presents challenges?
Just their size. You know, they are a big, long, good-looking SEC football team. When we went to the ballpark for the rib eating contest and, you know, the singing contest, and you just saw the size of the young men walking in, and that's, you know, it's one of those teams that are going to look good when you're out in their uniforms. You're going to look even better, and you know, we're going to play extremely smart football and be fundamentally sound to take care of, because just their size.
When you were watching and breaking down film, what stuck out to you about Dak?
Just I was watching the Egg Bowl before he knew we were going to play Mississippi State. I watched when he came off the sideline of what that did to that stadium and what that did to the guys on the sideline. So you could tell he's an inspirational leader, and that the whole team evolved
play like they have something to prove because you all attended 3 conference champions playing a 6-6 squad, but yet many people are picking Mississippi State to win this game. You think you guys are gonna go out there and play with sort of chip on their shoulder like they have something to prove?
Well, you know, I think we played with a chip on our shoulder all year. I think too, you look at the games like against Auburn, you know, there was a lot of close ball games. So, yeah, I think you can take that 6 and 6 out, you know, a play here, a play there. Their quarterback doesn't get hurt. You know, that's a 9-3 football team.
David, is it, say you talk about recruiting, but is it safe to say that you're recruiting a different type of athlete to Rice? The perception is with your academic standards, the pool isn't as big for you, but it seems like you're getting a different kind of athlete that Rice has had in the past, and the pool isn't as small.
Well, I think the pool's growing because I know public education. There's a lot more young men and women now with those higher board scores that make them admissible to Rice. So that has helped us attract a higher quality student athlete. At one point this year, we had 10 guys under NFL contracts in our time there. I think we have Chucky's at 6 or 7 on NFL squads, you know, today in our time there. And that's, you know, so the academic prestige also helps you attract a young man with a high score. And I think this goes back to that recruiting. Young men want to know, you know, can I go somewhere we're going to graduate? We just had a 100% graduation rate. If I go somewhere we're going to have a chance to play in the NFL, where we still got 7 guys that are NFL contracts, and we just won a conference championship. So I think it's a pretty attractive place for recruiting right now.
Did your players talk about the helmets that you guys are going to unveil?
What a bad top secret. It's top secret very good.
Read out photos.
Yeah, I mean, jeez. But yeah, that was got where it was leaking, so we just went ahead and let them put them on their head yesterday. They don't have the decals on them, but that was, you know, that's exciting for a football team to unveil new helmets. That when they saw me with no decals, it was a lot like when Harold invited us, you know, to the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. They were fired up.
Coach Koenig a couple days ago mentioned that way back when you used to hook them up on the river rafting business. What's that about?
Well, you know, in college I worked at San Marcos, is where I went to school at Texas State, and so my summer job was I rented inner tubes on the Guadalupe River, and then my first job was at New Braunfels High School, so I continued my summer job at Rockin' R renting inner tubes, and I knew if I ever wanted to get in college football, I better take care of some of the college football coaches, you know, so we gave them the Rockin' R River discount.
Rockin' R?
Yeah, probably the greatest job I ever had. Paid me for renting inner tubes. It was unbelievable.